This is the GIS Evening Report for Wednesday, March 27, 2024. I am Christian Mitchell. In the headlines, government to offer psychosocial and material support to Tuesday's fire victims.
Get ready to witness the ultimate showcase of talent, speed, and determination at the 2024 KFA Games. This prestigious event brings together the best young athletes from across the Caribbean, competing for glory like never before. With the motto, many people, one region, celebrating athletics, KFA embodies the essence of Caribbean unity through sports, igniting a flame that illuminates the future of sports in the region. Don't miss out on this incredible event, taking place at the KFA James Athletic Stadium from Saturday 30th March to Monday 1st April 2024. Get your tickets now at Grenadian Optical or visit gotofed.com and secure your spot to be part of this extraordinary celebration of athleticism.
Welcome back. Government, through the Ministry of Social and Community Development, commits to provide temporary shelter for the families affected by a major fire in St. Patrick on Tuesday. Minister for Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs, Senator the Honorable Gloria Thomas, said the families will be given the necessities to ensure they are comfortable and safe until their homes are reconstructed. In addition, the ministry's psychosocial unit will provide support to each member. Tuesday's fire destroyed 5 dwelling houses and in the process disrupting the lives of more than 17 individuals.
Our hearts go out to the victims, family, friends, and the entire community affected by this overwhelming event. The efforts of the first responders who selflessly responded to contain the fire must be commended. My ministry is currently responding to the disaster and has decided to provide temporary shelter for a period of 3 months in the first instance, while the reconstruction of the home is undertaken. The ministry will be providing material supplies, food, furnishings, and other necessary items to the various families. A team of senior officers, including Permanent Secretary Finley Jeffrey, Housing Officer, and the housing consultant, promptly visited the area and the affected families to give the necessary support. Our psychosocial unit is in preparation mode to provide the necessary support to the affected families.
Members of the Lower House of Parliament have passed amendments to the Road Traffic Amendment Bill 2024, which seeks to upgrade driver's licenses without examination and reduce the minimum age for a D-class license from 25 years to 18 years. Parliamentary Representative for St. David and Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell explained that only drivers with more than 5 years experience who are deemed medically fit are eligible for the upgrade. Upgrades are available for B, C, and C1 classes of licenses to D class. Prime Minister Mitchell said the amendments are necessary to address the challenges faced by small businesses in securing qualified drivers for their vehicles.
The main aim, Mr. Speaker, is to get persons in the B or C or C1 to be able to move to a D-class license. It is not meant to allow a person who has a B license to automatically get a C license, or if you have a C license to automatically get a C1 license. You would still have to go through the normal process there. It is merely meant to allow someone who has a B license to get a D license, someone who has a C license to get a D license, or someone who has a C1 license to get a D license. So that's the first point I want to emphasize, Mr. Speaker. And again, second, as I said, you would have to be driving for 5 years in the particular class. And then you have to have, and I think the Royal Grenadian Police Force was keen on that, confirmation that you are medically fit, obviously, to continue driving. And the question is, why are we seeking to have this? Mr. Speaker, we've had significant requests from persons, particularly small business owners and so on, who are faced with a situation where someone who has a D-class license essentially can't drive a pickup truck. Small business owners who are electricians or plumbers or farmers find themselves where the employees have a private B-class license. They can drive a car, they can drive an SUV, but they can't drive the pickup to drop the men or to drop the equipment. And in many instances, the owner himself oftentimes has to be the driver.
Government will consult with insurance companies to garner further support to the change of the minimum age of a D-Class license holder.
In order to drive a D-Class, the law currently says you must be 25 years old. Which, again, one of the challenges about youth unemployment is that oftentimes we create the barriers by our policies and our laws that actually creates youth unemployment. So why shouldn't a 24-year-old be able to drive a pickup? If he's a young farmer, if he's a plumber, an electrician, if we sent him to New Low and he's learned his craft, he's gotten a job, he's built himself up. I mean, you can't be an electrician without really having a pickup or some sort of minibus, or how are you going to carry the trunking, the this, the that, etc. So the challenge here, Mr. Speaker, is to ensure that we give young persons the opportunity to be able to get a D-Class license. Specifically, I want to emphasize, again, it's D-Class license, so we are not applying this to, for example, passenger bus. We obviously will have to speak with the insurance industry, because obviously that's one major stakeholder, because you'd appreciate that oftentimes insurance policies have restrictions on who can and who can't drive vehicles, the age at which they can and cannot drive, and so on. And so part of there's always a chicken and egg situation. What moves first? Should the law move first, or should we encourage the insurance to move? But I have, knowing insurance and their aversion to risk, if the law doesn't move, Mr. Speaker, they are not going to move, right? So again, this is aimed at ensuring that our young people, that the youth economy has an opportunity to be able to drive D-Class vehicles before they're 25.
Government Ministers Andy Williams and Tevin Andrews gave support to the bill.
This bill enables one to drive a truck that is under 7,000 kg. And, when I started my business in 2011, Mr. Speaker, my mother gifted me with a truck. And it wasn't the best of trucks, but it was under 7,000 kg. And that was the truck that I used to go on the port to transport my goods up and down. And it saved me tremendously. It helped me to grow my business, Mr. Speaker. There will be youths outside there that will benefit from a bill like this. So again, I want to applaud this administration for taking the step forward and making the bold decision to do this.
At the age of 18, if one decides to become a politician or a lawmaker, they can run for the office of being a member of parliament. We have example of through Mr. Speaker, a very good friend and member of parliament for St. John's, who was elected at age 23. And the restriction for a D-Class license is what? 25. It just doesn't add up. You can you can get married at 18, with your parent consent at 16, I believe. The age of sexual consent is 16. So it somewhat confuses me at times why the restrictions. But I'm happy. I'm pleased by this administration for us taking this bold move to assist and to help improve and enhance business for our young people.
We take our first break. When we return, Grenada gets ready to stage exciting KFA Games over the weekend.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, Forestry and Marine Resources announces the unfortunate decision to postpone the national consultation for the 2023 revised National Poultry Policy and Action Program, originally slated for April 3, 2024. The event will be rescheduled to a later date, which will be announced in due course. This decision was necessary to accommodate conflicting schedules with other previously arranged events. The ministry urges you to remain attentive for the announcement of the new date regarding the hosting of the national consultation.
Welcome back. After months of preparation, the local organizing committee says systems are in place to stage the 51st KFA Games from March 30th to April 1st at the KFA Games Athletic Stadium. Over 600 athletes, coaches, and officials are expected on island, some of whom are already here for the much anticipated youth games. 14 locations will be used to house the athletes and officials, ensuring their safety and well-being while on island. During a press conference on Wednesday, chair of the local organizing committee, Vida Bruno Victor, applauded the efforts of the LOC. She said being a small country does not take away from the level of execution anticipated.
We are using 14 different areas, 14 locations to host the people, to host all our people. We have had 6 information we have these info meetings with members of the KFA family, and we've had 6 of those where we explained to them, we brought in all our people to talk to them about the expectations. So we don't want them to come here and think they're going in one big hotel, no. So we explain all of that to them, we talked to them, they asked questions, we dealt with it. We dealt with the accreditation and so on.
The Minister for Youth and Sports, Honorable Jonathan Lecret, says Grenada beams with pride as the hosting of the 51st KFA Games is an impact-generating event that comes on the heels of the island's 50th anniversary of independence. Minister Lecret says the investment by government is a clear indication of the direction it is taking to ensure that the youth get the platform needed to exhibit their athletic talents to the wider world.
I believe that government's investment in the Games of well over $4 million is a testament to government's commitment to the development of our youth through sports. The relaying of the athletic tracks and the warm-up track, accommodations, and the technical support from the Ministry of Youth and Sports all form part of the package of what government offered, so that these games can be a reality. Though each island that is going to be represented at the KFA Games this year will bring with it its own demonstrated ability in track and field, our collective Caribbean prowess is placed on display as we compete in the true spirit of regionalism. KFA therefore provides each participant with the opportunity to develop team spirit, an attitude of heroism, leadership adeptness, and socially cohesive skills, a well-crafted tapestry for global exposure.
President of the Grenada Athletic Association, Conrad Francis, alluded to the fact that Grenada has always created an impact in the Games since its inception in 1972 and assured that 2024 will be no different.
The participation of Grenada at KFA Games goes way back from the very inception in 1972. And do you know what? In the very first 2 years of these games, we won 6 medals. Tiny Grenada, we won 6 medals. Bronze in the 4x1, under 20 boys, bronze in the 4x4 senior boys. Very significant in that games was that there was a gentleman by the name of Eros Rapier.
The medals to be presented to the top 3 finishers at the Games were also on showcase to members of the media during the press conference, along with other merchandise that can be purchased. Grenada will field a 63-member team at the Games. In more news on KFA, Head of Security Operations for the 51st Games, ACP Vanny Cohen, says the RGPF has mounted a strong security system to ensure that visiting teams, friends, and the Grenadian population enjoy KFA. He added that the Commissioner of Police has suspended all passes of officers on island to ensure the manpower is sufficient to execute the various aspects of their security plan.
Outside of the stadium, we do expect our visitors to enjoy the length and breadth of Grenada. Our security plan will extend beyond the stadium, particularly in the south of the island, in the hotels and surrounding where our visiting guests are expected to be. They're going to be heightened security presence. You can expect that. There are going to be VCP checks at nights. There are going to be food patrol, mobile patrol, covert and overt operations, meaning what you will see and what you will not see. The entire RGPF is on lockdown for the Easter holidays. There is no pass, no off duty, so all of our forces are able to deliver the kind of security that we have come to know. We are not taking these games lightly. We are not taking this season lightly. We now have all of the experiences that these games or these holidays bring to us. We know what to expect, and we are totally prepared for it. So let me also take the opportunity to say, not only at the National Stadium, but throughout the length and breadth of Grenada, you can expect to see additional police officers in the streets, in the bays, in the creeks, throughout of the fun that you're having. Yes, we are going to be there.
ACP Cohen also spoke to prohibited items to ensure overall safety.
Broken bottles or receptacles that you put your food and your drinks are, once they're made of broken bottles, or once they're broken bottles, they will not be allowed to enter the stadium. So we implore on everyone coming to the stadium to ensure that your food and your drinks are, stored in receptacles that are plastic or other materials than broken bottles. Those will not be admitted into the stadium. At the entrance gate, we're definitely going to be checking for those. This is one of the ways we ensure that safety and security is maintained. Your coolers, this is Grenada, and we have a particular way in which we do celebrate whatever we're having. Everybody have the food and the drinks and the coolers, and we encourage that. But there is a size of the cooler that by now all Grenadians should know that is accepted. Your cooler should be able to fit in front of the seat in front of you, and should not be larger than the seat in front of you. No loud horns will be admitted into the stadium. I know, again, some of our younger generation would say that's the way we celebrate. We celebrated that way for intercall. This is character. This is a level above the intercall. And so we want to ensure that the distraction that these horns bring to the games and the proceedings are not present and do not act as a distraction for these character games. So while you are welcome with your drums, the horns are not or will not be admitted into the stadium, and they're going to be checked for at the entrance gates. Large flag poles, with, we like to carry our flags and display those, and those are encouraged, but the large flag poles will not be admitted into the stadium, and you can understand why.
Licensed firearms, he says, will have to be logged at the nearest police station, as holders will not be allowed to enter the stadium with them. We take our final break. When we return, overwhelming response for Learn to Swim event.
KFA Maroon and String Band Music Festival 2024, April 26th to the 28th. Coming together to preserve and showcase our culture is who we are. Friday the 26th, Belmont at the Chapel. Early morning libation, 3 p.m. Saraka, 7 p.m. the official opening ceremony and cultural evening. Saturday from 10 a.m. Hillsborough Square. It's Strings in the City. Then at 8 p.m. we move to the Botanical Gardens for cultural explosion with local and regional performances featuring Touch, the band. Admission $60. Then on Sunday, it's the grand finale, Paradise Beach. From 12 noon, musical entertainment. And from 4 p.m., Paradise Beach Friends, cultural entertainment and live music. Admission $20. Come along to dance the quadrille and big drum on Paradise Beach every Sunday after the launch until the festival ends. KFA Maroon and String Band Music Festival 2024, April 26th to the 28th.
Thank you for staying with us. Over 800 adults and children are registered to participate in the 2024 Learn to Swim event sponsored by Silver Sands Grenada. From Tuesday, April 2nd to April 6th, participants aged 5 and above will have the opportunity to dive into a week-long celebration of water safety, exercise, and aquatic skill building. Learn to Swim Week will extend its reach across the 6 parishes as well as the sister isles of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. 2024 marks the 10th anniversary. Deb Eastwood, director of Get Grenada Swimming, spoke to GIS on Wednesday about this year's Swim Week.
It's starting next Tuesday. And it's the Silver Sands National Learn to Swim Week. It's our 10-year anniversary, so we're super excited about that. And it's going to be held at 18 locations all the way around Grenada. We have spots in every parish, from Sautez even to the other islands, to Carriacou and Petite Martinique. So lots of locations. They're in the afternoon this time. Sometimes we do them in the mornings. Our July week is in the mornings, and our Easter week is always in the afternoons, so that way everybody will have access to swim lessons at least once a year.
Eastwood said the event has gained some traction over the years.
We started in 2015, and we only had 11 locations at that point in time, and we taught about 500 swimmers. And this year we'll be teaching somewhere between 700 to 800 swimmers at 18 locations. And so it's progressed that way. And then it's also progressed in that we started about 3 years ago, we started putting a focus on adults. Because really, if adults know how to swim, then they're going to teach their children too. And it's just safer, because if the kids learn to swim and the adults don't know how to swim, and you go to watch your child and they get into trouble anyway, you know, it's a kind of a scary situation for a mom. You go online at getgrenadaswimming.com and you pick a time, 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m., or 5 p.m. So you pick that hour, and then you come every day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And if you have to miss a day or two, that's okay. If you can only come for one day, come for one day. We're just saying, if you come all 5 days, you will be water safe at the end of the 5 days.
So you get to pick the time, and it's scheduled according to?
Right. That way I make sure we have enough instructors at the location. One time I had to bus 30 instructors up to Telescope. Okay, so because it's not a location where we have a lot of swim instructors. So it just depends. If everybody signs up, I'm not saying we won't take walk-ins. We always take walk-ins, but if you signed up, you're guaranteed a lesson.
Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell endorses Swim Week and sees swimming as a skill everyone should acquire.
Swimming is one of the things I really want to champion in Grenada. All of us should learn to swim. You know, I've been involved with the Grenada Amateur Swimming Association. My son swam a little bit competitively. But we're really keen on, there's so much to do and see, and the job opportunities that comes with just having a basic skill like swimming, in addition to life-saving skills and so on. And I'm particularly happy to hear that it's happening in Waltham, in the rural community. So I'll be happy to try and come by to support.
Those interested in learning to swim at any of the locations are asked to register to ensure that proper arrangements are made. They can also register on www.getgrenadaswimming.com or call 404-5237 for inquiries. Swim volunteers are coming to Grenada to assist with instructing. Grenadians who are interested in volunteering can also register on the website. Learn to swim sessions run from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Finally, in the news, students at the Blessed Sacrament Catholic School in Grandance recently participated in a spelling bee as part of the school's continuous system and school improvement plan. It falls under the OECS Program for Educational Advancement and Relevant Learning, OECS Pearl. Under the CSSI plan, Blessed Sacrament Catholic School chose spelling and reading fluency as areas of focus. The OECS Pearl is a 4-year program funded by the Global Partnership for Education that seeks to increase access and improve student learning in basic education. In the end, Yellow House, which is called Goretti House, won the infants competition, while Green House, known as Phillip House, won both the junior and senior divisions in the spelling bee. We have more in this Sorana Mitchell report.
Students representing the infants, junior and senior departments of the Blessed Sacrament Catholic School competed in the 3 different houses on March 15th in a school-wide spelling bee. The spelling bee is part of the school's continuous system and school improvement plan, CSSI plan, which falls under the OECS Program for Educational Advancement and Relevant Learning, OECS Pearl. Blessed Sacrament Catholic School is one of 21 schools in the country that the OECS Pearl works closely with. Acting principal of Blessed Sacrament Catholic School, Henva Simeon, says reading and spelling are areas of concern for her school, which they have been addressing since September of this school year.
So we have been working feverishly since September to try to improve our students' reading fluency and their spelling, both oral and written. So this activity today is just part of supporting the improvement for spelling at our school.
Simeon says the school has been able to purchase phonics kits, word cards, spelling games, and other resource materials through funding from the OECS Pearl. The OECS Pearl is a 4-year program funded by the Global Partnership for Education, GPE, that seeks to increase access to and improve student learning in basic education. The principal explains that by the end of the school year, they should be able to assess the impact of the focus on reading and spelling at the school.
For the first term, we looked at it, the September to December term, and we have seen some improvements. It is not as much maybe as we would have liked to see, but we have seen some improvement. But we have the entire year to look at it. We're almost at the end of the second term, so we have not reviewed our assessments results for the second term as yet. But I'm sure we will see some improvements again, and then by the end of the third term, I'm sure we'll be satisfied enough with the results that we would have seen.
Your word is China. Spell China.
C-H-I-N-A.
Very good. You're correct.
In the end, Yellow House, which is called Goretti House, won the infants competition, while Green House, known as Phillip House, won both the junior and senior divisions in the spelling bee. The students received trophies, certificates, medals, and puzzle books as prizes. Sarana Mitchell reporting.
Thank you, Sarana. That report has brought us to the end of the GIS Evening Report for Wednesday, March 27th, 2024. On behalf of the entire news and production team here at the Government Information Service, we thank you, our viewers and listeners, for tuning in. Until next time.